You get to say lines like, keep quiet or I'll cut your dick off. Amazing stuff.
I like those kinds of lines. You know I do.
Tell us a little bit about the origins of this project, and at what point did you figure out Kevin Bacon was the perfect fit for your bounty hunter lead?
Well, there was an amazing script Blumhouse had, and Kev signed up for it, and they had me at Kevin Bacon Hunting Demons. We decided to create an original show that was laugh out loud funny and would just be a really fun watch, and we jumped into it.
So Kevin, you were attached to this early, it sounds like. What was exciting for you about jumping back into television and jumping in a genre vehicle?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's always about looking for something that is not like what I've just done. The show that I had on the air before was City on a Hill, and the character could not be more different than the character in The Bondsman. And that's really what's fun about acting in general. And also, you know, when you leave yourself open to different kinds of genres and different kinds of tones, you really get a chance to play in a whole bunch of different playgrounds. And the violence and the blood and the family story and the music and the humor were all really attractive to me in this project.
So we went back to the Den of Geek research department, and you know, this is extensive, guys. Like, we went in, clocked everything. You guys officially have the fastest time between on-screen death and resurrection in television history. We called everybody Guinness, Book of World Records, all of them. You guys did it. It's actually just a little bit longer than your character in Flatliners, how dead he was. And a little quicker than your death in Friday the 13th. But just want to talk a little bit about the kind of physicality, Kevin, that you got to kind of play around with here. And was that exciting for you? And you get to say lines like, keep quiet or I'll cut your dick off. Amazing stuff.
I like those kinds of lines. You know I do. And it was a very physical part, I mean, which is great. I like physical challenges. It's fun to be thrown into a situation where you're covered in blood and you got a chainsaw and you got to, you know, stick it in some demon's face. You know, I mean, try to shoot the shotgun with one hand and, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's a blast.
Wrestle a demon cheerleader underwater.
Yeah, that's right. Fighting a demon cheerleader underwater.
Holding his breath, and it was him for real.
And watching the pilot, I think, like, for me, you know, I started to think like Kolchak the Night Stalker, like Case of the Week sort of elements to it. But I think pretty quickly you realize that there's a much bigger narrative arc here going on. Eric, could you tell me a little bit about how that process kind of evolved in writing this show and what that looked like?
Sure. So, like, I was excited about the creation of an original story that mashed up genres in a way that you won't expect, right? So I like those character-driven narratives where you come into a scene in the point of view of a character and you don't know whether you're going to end the scene laughing, crying, or watching a demon get a chainsaw to the face. Like, you really just don't know. So we also have a really terrific supporting cast around Kev, and his interactions with, like, Beth Grant, who plays his mom, Kitty, is just gold. Jen Nettles, who plays his ex-wife, is an amazing actor, in addition to being a banging singer. The whole cast, I could go down the list, but just watching that chemistry really cranked it up a notch.
Was that chemistry kind of instant for you, Kevin, on the set? Because like you mentioned, Eric, there's a fantastic cast here.
I think that, you know, first off, it was a pretty long and detailed, you know, casting process to make sure that we had great people to work with. Pretty much right away, everybody kind of connected. Damon Harriman is Lucky is great. He's a great bad guy. He's a chameleon of an actor. Jolene Purdy brought a really interesting point of view and a style. It really felt like a great ensemble.
You said the magic words, original. We really love to see that here. I'm wondering, Kevin, you've obviously had such an amazing career. What excites you right now about where this industry is heading, and how does that factor in, if at all, in the roles you choose to take?
There's upsides and downsides to things that are happening in the industry, but if you look at something like The Bondsman, it's really cool for me to be able to go and shoot 8 half-hour episodes and then have, the rest of the year to explore other kinds of roles and other kinds of characters. And I went to television very reluctantly when I first signed up for The Following. It's hard to imagine that there was a world where if you were a movie actor, you just did not do a series. That was just a thing. And then I went on, and in order to try to get out of doing the Following, I said, well, I'm only going to do, 15 episodes or something like that. They agreed to it. So I was stuck to be, having to do it. And all of a sudden I went, wow, this is so much fun. I'm really digging this. I still love making movies, and it gets harder and harder to make movies and to get people to go to the theaters to see them, as has been reported so many times. It also has been great to explore the different opportunities that I've had working on streamers.
There's the fact that, you kind of dip in, do a show like that, and then still kind of feel that passion you have for cinema, take other projects like that, dip in. Obviously, you've done some cool cameos lately, stuff like that. Does that make it a little bit easier in terms of like your scheduling? Because you're a man guy.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we got 8 episodes. How long was our schedule? 3-4 months, something like that, or prep.
Prep. It was probably 6 months.
6
all
months,
in,
right? 6 months all in, yeah. But that meant that I can go do Maxine or do other things.
Erik, this pilot ends with a pretty awesome sequence. I'm not going to spoil it, but I was curious what you hope will excite genre fans about this show.
I think that it's really going to twist your understanding of what you've been watching and kick off the show in a kind of a quirky but also surprising way. Genre fans are not going to be disappointed by what they have coming. This is a Blumhouse show, and we have a fairly strong introduction to what kind of show this is going to be at the end. It was fun to write.
There's some amazing kind of comedic bits in this show. Is there a one-liner, Kevin, that stands out to you from the first season?
One line that I always really love is my mom. I'm sitting there talking to my mom, and she's like, you gave up a perfectly good job working in the studio to become and work for me as a bondsman. And I say, they wanted to pay me like an intern, Mom. I don't know why that always makes me laugh, because he's just he's such a little boy in a lot of ways,
Check out The Bondsman, Amazon Prime. When?
April 3rd. Please watch.
Awesome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fuck.